The skill we will be teaching in this video is freestyle. The skill will be taught over a 4-week period consisting of 3 sessions per week. The skill will be learnt using the progressive part method. Week 1, sessions 1 and 2, kicking with a board.
Kicking is a primary skill for freestyle, allowing both movement and buoyancy for the learner. When kicking, it is essential that the legs are straight and the movement is generated from the hips rather than the knees. The toes must also be pointed. Successful completion of the skill is determined through the ability to gain displacement in a straight line.
Common errors when kicking. Common errors in kicking include bent legs and body rotation. This reduces buoyancy as well as movement. This can be fixed by generating the kick from the hips and not from the knees. Week 1, Session 3, Streamline.
Streamlining is the ability to create a position in the water that presents very little resistance to the flow of water, increasing the speed and ease of movement. When performing a streamline kick, it is necessary to place the arms above the head as straight as possible. The head must also be in line with the arms, shoulders and spine. Kicking must also be performed efficiently. An increase in velocity will demonstrate an achievement of streamline.
Common errors in streamline. Common errors in streamline include body rotation caused by lack of abdominal muscle contraction, as well as incorrect head positioning and bent arms. Week 2, Sessions 1 and 2, Breathing.
Correct breathing technique is important in freestyle as it allows for greater duration and displacement. The first step in learning freestyle breathing is using a kickboard with the saying 1, 2, bubbles, breathe. The first 2 seconds involve facing the water without exhaling, followed by a large exhalation of bubbles until the breath is needed. The next progression is then turning the head to the side. The breath must be taken to the side with the ear on the shoulder. You must ensure only one fast breath is taken.
Week 2, Session 3 and Week 3, Session 1, combining kicking and breathing.
When combining breathing and kicking, place the arms beside your legs, ensure the breath is to the side, and kicking is correct. Completion of freestyle breathing is achieved when the learner is able to continue kicking and breathing for 30 seconds.
Common errors when breathing. Common errors in freestyle breathing include holding the head up high to breathe, as well as taking more than one breath or taking too long to breathe. Another error is tilting the body too far to breathe. This in effect breaks streamline. Week 3, Session 2, Arm stroke with board.
Arm stroke is important in freestyle as it provides majority of the force. The first step in learning the arm stroke is using a kickboard whilst remaining motionless. The arm must be outstretched in front as if you're reaching for a person, and in line with the head in order to maintain a streamlined body position. In the pulling phase underwater, the elbow must remain above the hand, as the pulling and pushing phase of the arm provides majority of the force.
Common errors when performing arm stroke with a board. A common error when performing arm stroke with a board is having your arms too straight. This can be altered by making sure your elbow is above the hand at all times. Week 3, Session 3 and Week 4, Session 1, 2 arm stroke with a board and kicking.
The second progression for freestyle arm stroke is the combination of both kicking and arm stroke using the kickboard. When performing this progression, ensure you remember to maintain slightly bent arms and propel through the water in order to gain acceleration. Also ensure a breath is taken every second stroke to maintain coordination.
Common errors when combining kicking and arm stroke with a board. Common errors in this progression include over-rotating the body, as well as breathing every stroke. This wastes energy and produces drag in the water. The completion of this progression is the ability to feel comfortable and coordinated and to achieve displacement in the water. Week 4, Sessions 2 and 3, combining all skills, freestyle stroke.
The final step towards achieving the freestyle stroke is to combine all progressive skills. This includes kicking, breathing and arm stroke. When freestyle stroke can be performed with 2, 3 or 4 strokes, in which breathing is then performed after the second, third or fourth stroke. Throughout this stage, you will be able to successfully guide yourself through feedback and correct the errors. From here on out, your skill level would be dependent on practice. Your ability to successfully gain 50 metres using freestyle will demonstrate completion in learning freestyle stroke.
Retention test.
A retention test is used to measure persistency in a learner. The retention test for the freestyle skill will involve a 1-week break after the 4-week program, in which no freestyle should be performed. After this retention period, 50-metre freestyle should be performed. Successful completion of the skill will demonstrate persistency.
Transfer test.
A transfer test is used to measure adaptability. This can be measured for freestyle in a different pool whilst performing backstroke. A correct attempt to use the skills learnt throughout freestyle for the backstroke skill will measure adaptability.
Verbal cues are phrases used to emphasize, organize, or prepare the learner in order to foster positive learning. Cues are often given to focus the learner's attention to an important feature, such as 1 arm, 2 arm, then don't forget to breathe. Beginners often have reduced attention as they are concentrating on the movements. Therefore, it is essential that cues are short, concise, and straight to the point. The language used must also be clear and effective due to the learner's minimal concentration. Internal focus can allow the learner to concentrate their conscious attention to their own body movements. Although it must be ensured that this does not hinder the refining of the new skills, as often the learners can overanalyze their movements.
Motivation is a process which initiates, guides, and also maintains goal-oriented behaviours. Motivation is an important aspect when learning the skill of freestyle, as the cognitive stage can be long and strenuous, therefore leading to boredom or dropout. It is important to use both internal and external motivation for this skill, such as rewards, which motivate the learner to reinforce behaviours which have a positive result on the learning process. Goal setting. You're required to set goals both short and long term, as this will provide you with an objective to strive towards. And reinforcement. Reinforcement should be given throughout the learning process by an instructor in order to give the learner a sense of achievement.
Feedback is information on a movement that is the basis for modification. Augmented feedback is the primary source used for our freestyle skill program. This type of feedback stems from external stimulus that supplements feedback using a skill. There are 2 primary types of augmented feedback. These include knowledge of results, which measures performance outcome, and knowledge of performance, which measures the behavioural characteristics involved in performance production. Both descriptive and prescriptive feedback should also be used. Descriptive feedback involves simple descriptions of the errors, whereas prescriptive feedback follows with suggestions on how to correct the errors and minimize reoccurrence. The use of video feedback allows the learner to understand the KP characteristics which need to be altered. Our final form of feedback uses the sandwich approach, which involves the correction information sandwiched between reinforcement and encouragement.
Due to the complex nature of the freestyle skill, there are many attentional and memory-related considerations. The program may become long and demanding, therefore monotony must be removed due to boredom. This can be done through fun aspects and a sense of achievement. Beginners also have difficulty discriminating between relevant and irrelevant cues, therefore the practitioner should provide relevant cues only. Due to the various forms of feedback and demanding nature of the skill, overanalysis of movement may result. This can result in confusion of which decision to make, therefore resulting in no action at all. This can be overcome through reducing perfectionism. It is assured that after following this 4-week freestyle program, you will be able to successfully complete the skill of freestyle along with following our schedule. Well done!